Let's begin.
Let's begin.
Hello. This is Justin George, and welcome back to Life as a Crash Course. Today is a very special episode for me. I know I keep saying that every single episode, but today is really special personally for me because the guest is truly very special to me. We have Malvika Sitlani with us today. I've been looking up to her since 2020, or maybe even prior to that. Even if I can pull off a proper eyeliner or some concealer blush techniques today, it's because of her videos. And I'm sure there are so many girls who look up to her just like me. She, in a way, has healed my inner child because I used to look up to her when I was highly insecure about myself. So, this is indeed going to be a very special episode. And before we begin, Malavika, we have a short surprise for you. I hope you love it.
Hi Mars, how are you? I'm Jemima and I'm from Canada.
Hi Malvika, this is Neha. I'm a big fan of yours.
So I started watching your videos from 2020.
You have inspired a lot of women whom I know as well.
And let me tell you, me and my sister used to sit at home and fight. But the only common point when we keep quiet is when we watch your videos. We love how relatable all these contents are. Like, we have that personal connection with Abby. We miss your mom. And, you yeah, a lot of things, like learned a lot of things, content creation, being raw and honest, a lot of things that I love about you.
You're a very strong woman, and I'm really glad that you have survived whatever you have to go through. I love the way you take care of yourself and your baby.
Keep going, and I'm happy that you came to Jesus show and hope to meet you soon someday. Bye.
I wish all the best and lots of love.
How are you, Mal?
I am all over the place. Like some days I wake up really, ready to go, zeal for life. And some days I just wake up absolutely not wanting to do anything. So yeah, I think I'm in a season of grief. So like I'm in and out of grief. So answering that question, sometimes I make people very uncomfortable, when strangers ask me, look, how are you? Or like when they meet me after a long time, I actually tell them how I am. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing well. And they get so awkward. But I'm like, you genuinely wanted to know, right? I'm
Yeah.
not going to say I'm good because I'm not. And it's okay to acknowledge that because I feel like it's such a throwing question, like, how are you? But it's such a deep question because um, genuinely, I don't have like the right answer for it. Every day, dude, I wake up with a new feeling. It depends on like how my previous night went,
Yeah.
So yeah, all over the place, but still here. So
I actually hate it when people ask me, how are you?
really,
Because you're not really ready for the answer, are you? You're just
no,
asking me for the sake of
I
it.
agree. I don't think they're ready for the answer. And I
Yeah.
love making people a little awkward. Okay. I'm like, okay, so, basically, and they're like, oh my God, I didn't want to know. But I love it.
Okay.
The
So,
truth.
as we always start with one self reflection question.
Acha.
Okay. So, in your own words, Maz, what is your story? Who are you and what is your story?
What is my story is very deep. But who am I? Okay. So I am, simply put, I am just a daughter and sister and a mother now. And I am someone who's speaking in a third person. Malvika is like funny. She's so funny. She's so full of life. She's so friendly. She is fiercely loyal. And when she loves, she goes all in and has been through a lot in life, a lot of losses, had to grow up very soon and early on in life, and is just extremely resilient and is just like been through the waves so many times. Like I feel like the minute I'm coming out of the water, the wave pulls me back in. I'm coming out of the water on the sand and it again grabs me back in. But somehow I still show up. And so she's someone who never gave up. Like I can tell you that very confidently. Um, and my story, what would you want to know? It's a long story.
We'll go into there's so many things to touch upon,
So many.
but in your words, how would you like briefly describe it?
Briefly, my story. So I basically I grew up very sheltered and protected. And my mom and dad never let us feel like we are going through stuff, like they cushioned us a lot until they could not anymore. So I think I grew up in a very, I want to say, like, normal household, not too rich, not too, it was regular middle class, to be very honest. We grew up very humbly. And then dad's life turned around, so he got a better job opportunity. And then I lived a very, very luxury, fancy life, which everybody knows already. And it was a period of like 7 to 8 years where I really enjoyed that phase, but I also was not affected very deeply. Like, okay, like my family is rich now. Nothing affected me like that. I was the way I was, the weird thing is, now that you're asking me, I've been consistent all through the phases of my life. So like Mars never changed.
Change.
Like I never changed my core of who I am, no matter what my status was. And a lot of people told me that, actually, and that was like a good self-reflection. Like, wow, I could have been like a very bratty girl the minute, like, we got wealthy. I could have been a very like privileged. I could have thrown that around, but I didn't. I just like, I knew that mom, dad were there. I knew my siblings were there, and I was just doing life as is. Okay. And then, of course, like a huge downfall happened, lost everything, but I still was myself. Yes, of course, I had to like do so many other things to like level up and bring me back. So I think my story would be like a girl who grew up, like I said, very early on in life. At around 20, I couldn't like live a regular college life. Like I couldn't like date around, make mistakes, have fun, like go for trips. And I had to stop in the middle because I had to be like, okay, I have to recalibrate. I have to like, me and my brothers had to fend for the family. So it was a very, it's not a regular, I mean, a lot of people go through it, but it's not something I saw, in my friend circle. So it was very different having to do that very early on in life, but it taught me like so much. It's like immense, failure. People always think like failure, I don't want to fail, and people don't do a lot of things out of failure.
Yeah.
Actually, they don't even want to try. They're like, nahi mujhe try bhi nahi karna, agar main fail ho gayi to. I'm like, do you have any idea the privilege in failing? Like, failing has literally got me to where I am today. If I had not failed now, if I had just been, I think I'd just be stagnant. I'd be who I am, but I wouldn't grow in any way. I wouldn't like face challenges. Being too ultra cushioned is also not very good,
Yeah.
because I feel like you really need character. You need something to bounce off of. You need to come back to life. And I think that's happened to me several times,
Right.
where I have to resuscitate myself and back again, back again. The minute life got good, it fell again. So it was like a continuous wave, as I think all of our lives, we're facing so much in the world. Everybody's going through stuff. But like, my story is one for the books, dude. Like, I feel like I really could write a book
Have you
someday.
ever considered that?
Yeah,
Because there's so much that has happened.
I have considered that. I was like, I think I really should write a book. I don't feel like I'm not finding that pull now. I think I still have to experience so much of goodness.
Yeah.
The goodness of God is spending, it's always there, but I feel like it's coming. And when that happens, I feel like the book is like ready to be made. I feel like my story is still
In the
in the
making.
in process. So
And Jesus loves you, mums.
I love Jesus. I love Jesus, and Jesus loves me. I know, and Jesus loves you. Thank you for saying that, dude. Like, honestly, so many times it's easy to say that when you're having a good time.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, all's good, God's good. But when you're going through it, when you're in a wilderness season, you really start to question everything. You're like,
That's when faith is really tested.
yes, yes, exactly. Faith is tested, and it's been happening with me. Like, I won't even lie. Like, this entire year, the minute I moved to Dubai, I feel like I've been tested and tested and tested constantly. My brothers and I, but mostly like, because I'm speaking out of my experience. It's been a testing season, and I have not known how to hold on to faith. Like, where are you, God? Sometimes we question it. We're
Yeah.
like, why me? But I just feel like you're right. Faith is something that we need to hold on to. The minute you lose faith, it's something that I think you lose hope, and then you lose faith, and then everything goes downhill from there, which you cannot. It's the only thing that keeps you breathing, I think.
True. We'll come back to this
Yes.
again. But before the social media existed,
Yeah.
who was Miles? What the world
Wow.
has seen you growing through social media. It has seen literally everything that you've gone
Yeah.
through. But before social media even existed, who was Miles?
My God, what was that life? What
Like
was
if
it?
somebody met you that day,
I
what would they have
I
witnessed?
honestly, I don't even remember what life was like before social media. I'll tell you this. I I wanted to be an actor. So like I think during college I was in a pageantry phase. So I wanted to do Miss India. I wanted to go on to Miss World. I wanted to be Miss Universe. So I did all those like pageantry things. And during classes I used to go for auditions. And I spent 2 years of my life like in Mumbai, Aramnagar studios, Mahada. I have spent my life waiting in studios and in auditions and giving my profiles. So I did that for 2 years. So maybe I wasn't on camera, but I was next to the camera. I was always where the camera was. It's
Hmm.
like I knew the camera I had to be in front of the camera, no matter what. So I gave so many auditions for
Okay.
like 2 years. So I used to go to college, come home. I knew I had like 5 auditions stacked up. So I used to go do that, come back, have dinner. It was a very, very simple life. Like I did not, and then watch TV. I can't even, wow, what? No phones? Like what is
Yeah.
scrolling wasn't there back then. So like, I guess just like Facebooking, like, I don't know if that's a thing, but Facebook a bit, but that's it. Spends like, we always had dinner at the table. Like there was something dad always said that we need to have like a meal at the table no matter what. So we always sat on the dinner table, had our dinner, and then dispersed again. So I think I remember that being my life, and also taking a lot of vacations
Okay.
with my family and having a chill set of friends. So very basic, yeah. Wow, I miss it.
When did social media come into being? Meaning, it must have been an experiment for a while. It must have been trial and error for you.
Huh.
But when did you understand makeup is going to be a niche and YouTube is going to be a thing?
Oh my gosh. So again, like I knew that there were like 2, 3 YouTubers at the time, which were
Okay.
like who were growing. Okay. And look, I tried auditioning like for 2 years and I'm like, look, I really want something substantial. I'm tired of rejection. I was getting rejected and rejected for whatever reason. And I was like, okay, maybe this is not my path, right?
Okay.
You have to like get it when God is trying to like resist that. You're like, I have another story written for you. Like, please understand. So I was like, I spent a lot of time with my MAC makeup. Mom used to get me a lot of MAC makeup. Every birthday, I used to get like MAC cosmetics, okay? Like lipsticks, compact. I could pick what I want. And I used to go back and I used to do a lot of like thing in front of the mirror, try it on, this and that. And then I started getting into YouTube myself. I was watching a lot of makeup tutorials and from the West. Everyone in America, when they was just emerging YouTubers like Carly, Bybel, Manny, Jeffree Star, like those were my people. So I literally got so addicted. Like I started watching that day and night. I started like learning techniques, not just like glam aspect to look beautiful, but actually how do you transform your face, your existing beautiful face? How do you make it even more beautiful by enhancing it, contouring it? I was obsessed. I was like, this is some magic stuff like you have in your closet, and it can make women look beautiful, men look
Yeah.
beautiful. So I'm like, why not? So I started practicing. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just like film it. So I stacked up a book. I stacked up a lot of books and I put my phone and I was like, okay, let's just start talking to the camera. And I'm very comfortable with the camera. I can talk. But it was very odd. I was like, okay, phone se piche wala
पीछे वाले
camera.
camera.
And then I used to put a mirror in front of that to see.
Oh, okay.
Because,
Yeah.
abhi viewfinder to nahi
Huh.
hai. So like, and I started that journey. I started with like, I think how to get fuller lips. I think that was my first video.
Oh.
And I think during that, right before that, I was in India's Next Top Model season
Yeah.
1. So I gained a little bit of popularity there. And I feel like people were like responding to, oh, finally, like this is so cool. Like I got like 3,000 views and I got quite a lot of engagement,
Yeah.
okay, for that time. So I was like, is this a thing? Maybe I could teach people. So when people started responding is when I started learning more and taking the knowledge back to YouTube.
Okay.
So I started there. Like I knew like this was gonna be something, and I loved the camera. I had control of not getting rejected. I'm like, this is my camera.
This
I'm the
is my
boss of this,
space.
my space. And I used to lock myself for hours.
Yeah.
And you know how my
Yeah.
video. I used to not stop talking. I used to go on till the sun set
Yes.
and beyond. I loved it. Yeah,
And I think it has been a gratifying journey.
yeah.
Look where we are now.
Very much. I loved it.
So, when you started, you did mention modeling agency and how you went into the
Yeah.
whole modeling season.
Yeah.
Yeah, season 1 you did
Yeah.
of India's Top Model. So, how was the journey like? What did you experience when you were on that platform?
So I did a lot after my pageantry that I won. It was like a small, not Miss India, but I went into like a smaller pageantry that was Femina, Style Diva. So I won that, and then I got a lot of runway offers.
Okay.
So I did a lot of runway shows. Back to back Lakmes and like all your different individual designer shows. And I started loving it. You're on the runway for 10 seconds, but the adrenaline is next level, dude.
Level.
Like you're decked up, and I love the glam aspect. I love that. So I think I was like, I was meant to be like, I wouldn't say popular, but I loved, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, but I love the idea and aspect of like fame, but using that platform in a good way,
Yeah.
not just glamour. I used it for the right way. I wanted to be a voice for a lot of women growing up, I realized. So earlier when I was younger, I loved the attention, the
Yeah.
fame, the camera, but I realized what weight that voice carries. Like
Yeah.
if so many women are watching me,
Okay.
that has to mean something, and that's how it developed into being like a voice for a lot of women. But I liked it a lot. I wasn't shy, nothing. So I realized that that was great. I did it for like a year or two again, but I realized that it was not like enough to sustain a life.
Yeah.
When my life turned upside down, I was like, okay, now I need to earn real money. It's not coming from modeling. It's
Yeah.
not coming from acting. You have to do something substantial. You have to
Yeah.
like, and I was not going to get a job, dude. Like I'm not meant to do like a 9 to 5. Nothing wrong with 9 to 5s, but I'm just not meant for that. I'm meant for something. I'm meant to perform,
Yeah.
and I knew that very early on. So the journey was interesting, but I knew that I had to break it. And then to break up from something that you love and you thought was going to be your dream, like of being an actor, pierced my heart, dude. But when I found YouTube, I'm telling you, there was another dream that got birthed inside me. And I was like, maybe this is it. So I think God leads you in the right path.
Was there any point in your YouTube journey where you had second thoughts, or was it always
Oh,
going on?
girl, no. I can confidently say this. I did not have second thoughts. In fact, I wanted to dive in more deeper and see what else I could do for YouTube. So once it clicked for me, and when I knew, like, okay, I'm in now, not a shadow of doubt. I think even today, I don't even consider another career. I was like, what would I do? What am I good at? I'm just so good at this. I feel like I was like meant to do this. So no,
What
no
was
doubt.
the first time when you realized this is bigger than what you thought? The fame, the
Yeah,
attention, the money,
yeah.
the opportunities started coming in. But what was the first instance when you thought, listen, something is happening?
So I remember very vividly, I got a call from Nika. Okay. Someone from Nika called me and they're like, hey, can you do a video for so and so product, and we'll pay you 5,000 rupees.
Okay.
And I was like, what? I was like, I'll do the video, no problem. I didn't know this is something people pay you for. I'm like, you're going to pay me to do something I love?
Mm.
That sounds weird. Like, I was like, I just have to do a video. She's like, yeah, you have to film this and you have to send it to us and post it on your platform. We'll give you 5,000. I was like, absolutely. Like 5,000 rupees. I was like, yes. So I think that was the dent mark. When Nika recognized me, I was like, now I'm making a dent. Now
Yeah.
I feel like they have noticed me. Now I cannot back out or whatever. I have to take this straight on
Straight.
and straight ahead. And so yeah, that was the moment of realization where I put the phone on and I'm like, no way. This could be, I still didn't think it would be such a full blown career. But I thought, you know what? Maybe it could be like a side gig while I'm doing my acting. But
Got it, other plans. So,
fully.
now when you
Yeah.
look at brands, what do you usually, how do you filter it out? Because now I'm sure like a lot of people approach you for doing this.
Yeah.
So, how do you
Mm. How do I
either
filter them?
yes or say no or
No, there's a lot of no's.
yeah,
Yeah. Initially, when you come into the industry, you have to say a lot of yeses
mm,
because you have to just like create content. You have to be seen. Visibility is everything when you're starting out, right? So I used to say yes to everything, and I used to say yes to the briefs. I used to be very like your traditional, like early on, nobody's there to guide you to tell
yeah,
you what to do. So you're just doing everything. Now, hyper selective, like hyper selective. I will curate a brief to where I want to say this. And I'm in like a place where I'm able to give that kind of a feedback to a brand where they're like, they take my views seriously, they take my opinion seriously, and they actually consider, because I'm so close to my audience, like I know what they want and they know me so well.
yeah.
They know what coffee I take. They know why I have worn that color on my nail today. Like they will ask me, like, hello, excuse me, that's not your regular. And I'm like, yeah, I wanted to try something new. It's very hard to I would never fool my audience, but it's
Yeah.
very hard to fool my audience
Yeah.
because they know Malvika in and out.
Yeah.
So I tell the brands like, I know my audience, dude, trust me, this will not work. So sometimes they want to experiment, so I go with it. But I have the upper hand here. Luckily, after so many years in the industry, it doesn't come very easily
Yeah.
because there are giants sitting across, right? You're talking like big brands like Estee, Lancome, like all of these brands, Maybelline, L'Oreal. Now we're in such a good relationship, like, working together, that they know that Maz is our girl for the next campaign. Like, they know how I want my briefs tailored. So that's how I pick and choose. If new brands come in, I welcome new brands, but I do try and test products, whether it's an existing brand that has a new launch, or it's a new brand that I've never heard of. I'm like, no, send the product to me. Is it it's aligning with my
Yeah.
branding? So there are certain things I won't do
Yeah.
in general because it doesn't resonate with me. The money may be big, dude. I have said no to I have said no to a lot of money, to a point where I could be sitting in a penthouse right now, but I'm just like, no, because that is not true to who I am. That is not, my audience will catch this in a minute and they'll be like, you have never pushed an Ayurvedic product, for
Yeah.
example. You have never pushed like a, whatever that I don't do on the general. So they know. So I'm like, you can put whatever money on the table, dude. I will pick my audience first. I will choose whatever's very close to my branding. But I think it's become like easier now. We sort of like filter. We know what aligns with me,
Yeah.
so it becomes easier to pick.
How has Dubai been for you in terms of work?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Dubai. So I moved last year. It's going to be a year now, in fact. And work wise, I still work with the Indian side of
Brands.
things, with Indian brands, global brands, of course, but from the Indian offices. And I have gotten some work actually. People are starting to recognize. So
Yeah.
I'm starting to get after 1 year. Okay. It takes time.
If you guys still don't know, she is based in Dubai now, guys. Hello.
I am. I go back and forth, Mumbai, Dubai, but I'm here. I'm fully based, and I think they've started to
Yeah.
know that now. So I do get called for events, and I'm starting to get brands notice me here. So it's getting exciting. I'm very excited to tap into the Dubai market because we're a lot of Indians here, and I feel there are a lot. My audience is here. Like,
Yeah.
they recognize me, they know me, and if I could be that voice for them here as well, I think that would be fab. So work is coming in, by the way. It is.
You just started at a Huda Beauty event as well.
Which, yeah. I mean, Huda and we've been working for like ages, So I feel like now that they know that I'm here, it's even more exciting for
Exciting
them.
for
Yeah.
you. Maz, you attended Cannes.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
For
It
me,
still is.
dude, it is.
How is the whole, like, how did the journey come into being? And how is the whole phase like for you?
My gosh, dude, when I got this was like a work in progress, okay? Like, you have to really, really, like, for L'Oreal to take you to its, like, it's milestone year. I think it was a 40th year or something, that they wanted to, it was like a dent in the Cannes Film Festival, okay? And they wanted to like take a few influencers, and I was one of them. They're like, okay, let's see. We were pushing, pushing, pushing. When I got that yes, dude, it was almost sorry. I'm like, seriously, dude, you want to take me to I was so pumped, and I was so committed to like delivering what they wanted me to do. And it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work. Like, you're there for 48 hours, and it's a blur. You don't get a rest for like a minute. So it's deliverables packed with like shoots, and you have to do get ready with me. So you have to do organic content. You have to get your dress sorted from somewhere. It was my first time. So luckily, we managed to get through the whole thing, because a lot of people fumble on the first time.
Yeah.
But the whole experience was something that, again, is going to leave a very huge mark in my career, because it's like very early on again in my career. I feel I
Yeah.
got a call to Cannes. So it was huge, and to be taken by L'Oreal itself was big. Was big, and at that point. See, I think that my year when I was taken was like very few people were taken. Felt special.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's something I will always reminisce and remember, and people remember that orange
Yeah.
dress.
I do.
I want it to be larger than life. I'm like, let
Yeah.
it be as big. The train has to start from there. And I was like, it has to be larger than life and big. And I did that one moment, and it was everything. And I wore a sari also
Yeah.
after that. But yeah, it was fun. Glamour moments. These are the moments, by the way, I wait for.
Mm.
Even today. Like, it may seem like, Maz, you've done it. Aren't you used to it? No. You can never be used to something like a can. Like, it's amazing.
Your journey so far, what has been like the keeping cancer aside, what has been other highlight moments that will always be, in your heart?
My meet and greets.
Mm-hmm.
I think my meet and greets are very special to me. So anything that has a touch point with my audience, I feel like when the brands do that touch point with my audience is the most memorable face for like moment for me. So again, it would be like the Delhi meet and greet we had early on. We had so many with Maybelline right now. So store visits, picking focus groups. Like I love touching, like putting a face to my audience and to seeing who is watching me,
Yeah,
and the love that comes through, dude, is it's like sitting with my friends, dude. It's sitting with like 200 friends
yeah.
who know me so well. So those are my marked moments, I will say. Like, yeah, of course, there are brand things, awards I won. Nothing compares to meeting your audience.
That's so
I
sweet,
love
man.
it. I love it.
Aren't you planning something like that here?
I want to. A lot of people are saying you should.
Yeah,
Should I? I should,
you
no?
should.
Hmm.
I'll be there.
We should.
Yeah,
I think I have an audience here now that is ready to like meet me in Dubai.
yeah.
Okay, come on, let's do it.
So you've been through a lot of life transitions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without touching upon anything that you're
Yeah.
uncomfortable with,
Yeah.
I want you to talk about how this journey has been for you in terms of being a mother,
Hmm.
being a wife, and then
Yeah.
being a daughter,
Yeah.
being a sister, being a devotee of Jesus.
Yes.
I've touched upon quite a lot of topics here. I don't want you to
Yeah,
share
yeah.
anything that you're
No
uncomfortable
problem.
with. But in these because you've been going through a lot of it's been, I can't even call it a roller coaster ride. Like it's way too bumpier than that.
Way too
Yeah.
bumpier.
So let's start from Abby. How has life changed after Abby came into being?
Oh my God, dude. I wish I could give you a very rosy answer that you want to hear. But I think the whole season of me getting pregnant and going through pregnancy and separation at the same time was extremely like unreal, because that's something I didn't want. I come from a family of broken marriages, and I've not seen an example of a good marriage, and that's something I never wanted. I was like, I will, and it happened. It's like
Yeah.
one of those things where you try so hard, but I think that's why these are generational patterns and generational curses that come through, which fall on you very unintentionally. You
Yeah.
don't even get to know that it just seeps into your life if you don't recognize the patterns and distance yourself from it. So I think my journey of motherhood has been tough.
Mm.
It has been difficult. It's not a very like I didn't have a very like glowy pregnancy where the pretty I looked fab because that's just comedy. Comedy is what I
Coping
do to,
mechanisms.
yeah, it's my defense. So
Yeah.
whenever I'm making a joke, it's defense. So yeah. Okay. So it has been like I wish I could say like, I had like the best time. I had a very bad time, like just battling a lot of like doubting a lot of things, battling a lot of decisions I made in my life, but never questioned Abigail. I think that's something that is just God given. Of course, children are a blessing. So I've never questioned Abigail because I wanted to, at that time of my life, be a mom. And it was, and it is still very difficult. It's not something that comes natural to me. Not many people can admit this, but motherhood doesn't come naturally to me. I have to try at it very hard every day, because I always had my mom with me who like raised Abby with me. So I always had that one person, if not my ex partner, it's someone. But um, it there were a lot of happy moments, but I remember a lot of, if I go through my gallery, dude, there are a lot of sad moments where I can see Mars in like, 2023, and I can see the life sucked out of her. I can see how sad she was, but trying to be happy for the
Yeah.
world, trying to show up on camera because she had to. That was my job. But behind the scenes, I was broken, man, like absolutely broken. It was a struggle to have to learn how to like feed Abby. Breastfeeding was horribly tough. Like it was so burdening on me. So I feel like the added weight of my separation and what I was going through and going through the pregnancy alone just made motherhood in general very difficult.
Difficult for you.
Maybe it's not for some people, and it might not have been if my circumstances were different.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have loved it. Can I say I absolutely love being a mother? I don't. I can't confidently say I love being a mother. Am I trying at it? Absolutely. I think all of us women who are moms are just waking up and trying their best.
Yeah.
And that's the best. And I know there's going to come a phase where I will love this role. Like, I will just organically tap into my motherhood, like, and I'll just be a mom. I've just gone through so much raising Abigail. She's just been like there for me, and poor thing has not done anything. She has been like the one who's sitting and watching this through me,
Yeah.
like having to lose my marriage, having to lose my parents, having to lose all of it. She's just with me
Yeah.
in the most darkest moments of my life. So I've not been able to give her the most happy mom, like,
Yeah.
who's Mars in her best self. It was like me 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That was me who was like in my own bubble, carefree, laughing till I cried. Like, I think she's still yet to see that side of her mom, which I'm working very hard for her to give that to her. So it's not been easy with Abby, for sure.
I really want to thank you for being so
Of
honest with
course.
me.
Always.
After all that you've been through, what does love look like to you now?
Oh
Meaning,
my God. Yeah.
earlier when you were in your teens, you must have had a different meaning to the whole concept of love.
Yeah,
Now
absolutely.
it must have changed drastically. So,
Oh my
or
God.
has it changed?
Yeah, I feel like love. Oh my God, dude. So speaking of love, it's very difficult because I'm telling you, there are love that's experienced in different ways, right? Everybody. So when I got out of this, when I had my divorce and when mom was there with me, I used to be like, I used to still feel very lonely, like the absence of a partner's love. And I used to express that a lot online, being like, oh my gosh, I really wish I had someone to cuddle or hug. And they'd be like, at least you have Abby. At
Mm.
least you have your mother. I'm like, but that's a different kind of love. Like, love can be portrayed in so many different ways. The love you receive from your parents is different, from your kid is different. A romantic love is absolutely
Really different.
separate. So it doesn't fill the void.
Yeah.
Having Abby and having my mom didn't fill the void of not having a partner.
Yeah.
So while I had love all this while, there's still a very big void of not having a companion, right? So I feel like the definition of love, or not definition, but the idea of love for me is now safety. I feel like when I
Yeah.
feel, because I've been on edge like a lot ever since I was like in my early 20s. I felt like I have had to, like I said, grow up, and I've never felt like I can rest.
Mm.
I have not felt like, okay, fine, now let's just chill. Like, I've always been on edge. I'm always in fight or flight mode,
Yeah.
survival mode, ever since I can remember. So I'm like, the minute a man comes into my life and makes me feel safe, and he's like, you know what, I got this, that's when like I'm fully loved and accepted. Because you can be loved in many different ways. Women feel loved when they feel safe. It's
Yeah.
a very, very common emotion for women. When you know you're secure and your partner's got your back, no matter what, financially, emotionally, spiritually, all areas of your life, when he's holding the fort down, that's when I will feel true love, like pure love, And of course, Jesus is love. I feel like I've had to rely on Jesus's love and comfort and peace so much in the past 2 years. I would like to say of the most difficult years of my life. Um, it's again something that is intangible, right? You cannot touch it, you cannot, but you can feel it. You can feel it. And no matter how much you try to deny it, it's like undeniable. Like, his love for you, he loved us first so we could love.
Yeah.
It's like, and so I feel like, in the spiritual sense of feeling love, and when you're feeling so alone, I feel like you rely on the peace that
That comes with it.
yeah, the
Yeah.
peace that comes with through the tribulations. So through the wilderness season of like having to go through divorce, it was gut-wrenchingly painful, don't get me wrong. I used to, like, oh my God, the Mars that doesn't come on camera is a totally different Mars, who, like, on her knees, who's crying like every night on her couch, right? She's sobbing, which you don't see. But the thing is that they say, like, Jesus sits with you in your grief. He's there. You cannot, like, it's a subtle presence that is just there with you, and he carries you through the grief. And it's very important to understand that from when he means, he's very gentle. Like, it's a very gentle love. It's not like a screaming, like, I'm there for you kind of a love. And it's very important to recognize that presence, because if you don't, you can crumble very fast. Like, I can go to the dark side, and I have. I'm not saying I haven't. I have been in a confused state of
State.
mind. Yeah, yeah. When you don't have
Yeah.
an anchor, like your mom tying you. My mom tied me to my faith. Like, she introduced Jesus to my life. So, like, she tied me to my faith, and so mom left. And I felt like my anchor, like the floor beneath me, just like left. And I'm just like forever falling from the sky and not having to touch ground, like, skydiving, but not ever reaching ground. And I'm like, the only love I have is like to rely on Jesus. When he says his love is peace, he doesn't promise happiness. He doesn't say, like, okay, happiness I leave to you, like, success and cars I leave to you. Like, no, he says, peace I leave with you. My peace I give
Mm.
to you. Not like the world gives you. So let your heart not be troubled, let it not be afraid, in John. And I really feel like that scripture, like when you actually like sense the peace through my divorce, through my mom's death, there's a peace I cannot explain. There's an underlying peace and not restlessness.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's really important to feel when you're going through all of it.
And do you think faith is actually helping you cope through grief?
Oh my god, absolutely. Absolutely. I think this is the only anchor holding me right now. If it wasn't for God, I don't know where I'd be. I think my friend, my best friend Veronica,
Okay.
she is also a sister in Christ, and she having like someone to ground you and remind you of the word of God is really important,
Yeah.
because you can slip, and I've slipped. I'm not saying I'm perfect. We all fall short of the glory of God, and we're all like, we don't compare, right? We cannot. And when you're in the most deepest grief, like I'm in right now, last night, dude, I was in the worst grief of my life. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't have parents, Veronica. Like, I just suddenly realized I don't have parents. And I'm like, I'm 33, but I need advice. I want to go to someone, I want to call someone. And she's like, Ma, it's like, and then she keeps reminding me of scripture. She keeps drawing me back to stories from the Bible. And she keeps telling me, like, dude, you have no idea. Like, Jesus is there. And you need friends, you need people like that backing you up with scripture and reminding you of faith, because you can leave faith very easily in
Yeah.
grief. You can be like, no, dude, Jesus, like, how can you do that? Like, you took my mom away. Like, why did you do that? You start questioning life, but like, he is like literally the author and finisher of our faith. And like, he knows. He knows, he knows, he knows. I don't know why I've lost my parents. I don't know why I had to be a single mom. I question it daily, but I take it to him. I take it to him in the night, and I'm like, you tell me why. Like, if you're gonna be mad, if you're gonna be angry, take it to God.
Yeah.
Like, take it out there. So I think my faith has been like, again, relying on the word of God, being like the promises of God. I think that is what has again held me back in a good way. It's held me back from like going further than I should have gone. Um, so like all of the scriptures of like, I was like reciting scriptures, because it's really important to go back and remind yourself who God is, and like what role he plays in your life. So all of them, like the Proverbs scripture, Proverbs 3, when he says like, trust in the Lord your God and lean not on your own understanding. It really means like, lean not on your own, don't do things according to your
Mm.
own way. And many times you want to take control. I've been in a very control like phase in my life. I want to control how I feel. My emotions, my joy, I want to control.
Yeah.
I'm like, this will make me happy. I want to get temporary joy from this, so I will do it. Dude, grief is piercing, babe. Like, it's piercing my heart so badly. Like, I don't know how to not deal. I don't know how to carry grief.
Yeah.
I'm like, will this ever end for me? Like, will this gut wrenching pain ever end? And then again, the scripture keeps coming back, like trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. So I'm like, that's all I have to do. So when you're reminded of the promises of God, and it's a promise, by the way. It's, again, you say promises of God, but it is a promise. He said, I promise, like Isaiah 41:10, fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, and I will help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. These are promises he's given to
Mm.
us to be like, dude, open the book. Like, I told you, I will never leave you. Do not be anxious. So all of these scriptures I had to go back to read, because I forgot
Yeah.
what they were. And what is faith, right? Faith is actually going back to the word of God, and word of God is the truth. And who is the word of God? Jesus, John 1:1. I can keep quoting scriptures.
And I'm loving this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did mention Veronica, and she's
Yes.
been a very important part of your life.
Yeah.
It is not Veronica. I want to understand your perspective of friendship. How has the idea of friendship changed over the years?
So after being a mom, I feel like it's changed. I
Yeah.
feel like she's very young, yeah, she's like 27. So I'm 33. I have a kid. I have a whole different life going on, dude. Like she's battling her own stuff. I'm battling my own. So we've come across phases of our life where we could not understand each other more. So I feel like on my side, because like being a mom and losing your parents and all of that is so much baggage and a lot to carry for a
Yeah.
best friend as well. She's like, how do I carry my best friend through
Yeah.
this? So we've had little moments of like, hey, where do I stand in this friendship? She's had doubts of like, okay, am I enough for you? Like, what can I do more for you? She's had that conversations with me, and I feel like it's very difficult to describe to someone who's not gone through loss
Yeah.
or single parenthood like what it's like.
Yeah.
Sometimes even if you keep explaining it to someone, they don't know what it's like to be in
Words
your
are not
shoe.
enough.
Yeah, words are not enough. तो मैं जितना भी समझाऊं ना कि babe, like I don't have the bandwidth to put effort into
Yeah.
this friendship in this season of my life. She'll understand it, but it will not fully pierce through because I literally have no bandwidth to give. I cannot pour from an empty
Yeah.
cup. I'm empty right now, right? So I'm not being able to reciprocate love to other people because I'm yet to be filled with love
Yeah.
so much more. So I think we've had those stiffs in a way, like silent periods where we've given each other space,
Space.
but we've always come back to, like, I don't think I can do without her, and neither can she. I feel like she's like my only anchor. Like she's like my mom, and she is like, my mom and her used to be so tight. So after my mom, she's like a reminder of my mom. She reminds me of scripture. She reminds me of, like, she feeds me, she cooks for me, she makes my mom's recipes and feeds me. She was there when my mom, like, literally breathed her last breath. She helped me with my dad's burial. Like, she has literally been like my partner. This is what a partner does, right? So that's a best friend. Like, so, and she has spent weeks staying here, being quiet, making my favorite meals, and just sitting with me. I think that's what friendship should look like, and not just fun and games and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's this, when you're going through immense grief, where does your best friend stand
I
with
think
you?
even the comfortable silences matter.
Absolutely. You don't even have to fill the room all the time. We
Yeah.
just sit and we watch like Impractical Jokers, we watch rubbish, we watch Friends and stuff. And then there's a silence that you just need to have. I don't think we can be silent. We're very silly. We will just crack up on nonsense for hours. But I think that is what friendship
Yeah.
is, like cracking up, even in grief, like at the funeral, dude. Because I didn't deal with it well. I didn't cry at all, by the way. I didn't shed a tear on the funeral. Um, but, like, not to say that I was absolutely dissociative. I was like cut off from everything because I'm like, I don't know what my life is now. But she was there to keep reminding me. So yeah, I think friendship like that is like one for the books. Heavy, heavy.
Yes. How has the whole equation changed after all of the chapter of grief has come into being? Meaning, like you just mentioned the occasional tips, but when as we grow up, there are so many things we deal with as adults in our own lives. Sometimes it's so difficult to keep pouring into the other person's life,
Right.
even though they are so important to you.
Yeah.
You just cannot be there because you don't have it in you. I've had these conversations with my best friends wherein they come questioning, "Are we okay? I'm
Yeah.
not sure if we are okay.
Yeah.
Are, is it different friends? Is it different life? Am I the problem?" And I'm like, "No, this is nothing to
Yeah.
do with you."
Nothing.
So how if somebody watching us today, and let's say two friends who is watching this episode today, is in that space where they cannot put in words of what is going on. They both love each other, but they are in different, I don't know, parallel universes where they want to pour in for each other, but they are just not being able to. What would you tell them?
So I really feel like if you're in different I feel like if you're in different age groups, it can really like put a dent to the friendship sometimes because you're going through very different chapters of your life, especially like absolutely like something breaking or like a significant loss, or like it can affect the dynamic of the friendship because you're very used to having that phone call for
Yeah.
hours and like going for coffee and very like, mellow stuff, very flowy. And then when something huge like, gets obstructed, even when your friend's trying to be there for you, you cannot accept that love sometimes, I feel. um I feel like you need to know what your friend needs.
Yeah.
how to love her is very important. Like how she needs to be loved, because I need to be loved a very different way when I'm grieving. So I don't like to be pitied, like, oh, it'll be fine. I cannot accept that. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wired a different way. Okay. I don't like to be touched a lot, like hugged a lot. I don't know why. I have a very, like, when I'm crying, I just like to be crying and then I want to get over it.
Yeah.
People deal with their grief. So she knows. I'm like, she knows. She knows how to love me. It's very important to know how to love your significant other, not the way you think they need to be
Yeah.
loved. So that's very important demarcation to understand that. And to like take care of the things around you when you're going through stuff, to like give you space. It's okay to have space in friendship. You should have space. It'll only come out better.
Yeah.
You should talk through everything. It's very difficult to voice your feelings, and it may seem very silly, but I feel like my best friend right now, Veronica, has suddenly started to like open up about her feelings. She used to not. So she sat down and she like shared something with me for like 40 minutes and told me what she was going through. And it was on me to decide whether I could pour in or not.
Not.
And at
Yeah.
that point, I could not.
Mm.
So we let it flow. I knew she was having this small, like minor inconvenience. I knew she wanted more from me, but I could not pour more into the
Yeah.
friendship. And at that time, I think we just need to be stable. We need to be holding on to each other still, even though you don't talk to each other. Hold on, like this will come back. Don't lose the friendship. Like that is something I do not advise. Seasons are hard, man. People go through difficult times. Even if she's your bestest friends, you're not living her life. She's not living your life. You're battling different demons, so at that point you want to like give that a break and you want to talk about it. Do a FaceTime, do like a coffee, talk about it, and then you want to implement that. Like when she's telling you, like, hey, listen, I've been feeling so and so, try and show up then. Try and make that little effort for her, even if it's minor. Know that you're doing it for her and to keep the friendship alive.
Yeah.
So please, I think girl friendships are very, very sacred and special, and it's what got me through life. My friendship with Veronica in the past 7 years has carried me through the grief that I have been going through, and even till today. So if you have your girl best friend, nothing is worth losing that friendship
Mm.
over. Nothing. No boy, no like life circumstance, no kid. Like that is your separate equation out of your family, out of your love life, and it's something that you should take effort for,
Yeah.
which I need to take a lot of effort for, but in its own time,
Yeah.
I feel. So, yeah, take effort, don't lose that friendship.
You've been very vocal about the concept of loneliness.
Yeah,
It's not about work. It's not about other relationships. Something that comes from a romantic partner
yeah,
can only come from there.
yeah.
So even like you see a lot of women online who are trying to navigate the idea of success and love. There are people who say maybe one can block the other,
Hmm.
meaning if you're on the pursuit of finding love and you're cherishing that, you may not reach the level of success that your potential could unlock.
Okay.
Yeah. But what are your thoughts on this?
What do you mean? Like they feel like if you're like successful, you don't need love?
What if what they're trying to say is
Hmm.
being in a relationship can hinder your way to success or your way of
Hmm.
unlocking your potential?
Oh, interesting. Look, I feel like it's subjective again. I feel like if you're starting a new relationship, it could be a distraction if you're on the way to like getting something big. Love is a distraction. It is like it takes up a lot of your time. It needs time, it needs like nourishing, it needs attention, and that is again separate from work, right? And just because your work is overpowering right now, you cannot like put your marriage to the sidelines, or you cannot put that relationship on the side. So however, I definitely feel like at the end of the day, dude, love wins. It is everything. Love is what is going to carry you through your life. Okay, it's what holds all of us together and binds us together even till today. So yeah, you can have a fabulous career and you can still have a successful relationship. I absolutely believe that's possible. I've had it. So it's possible. Um so I don't negate the two. I think just going to like, chase your dreams and being successful, but at the end coming home to an empty house, doesn't mean much. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like you want to come home and share that with someone. You want to share that with your partner, your significant other. Having someone like cheerleading you on the sidelines is phenomenal. Like, someone supporting you through your career, someone like giving you the props to like grow in your career, no matter how uncomfortable. It might not be their line of work, but like show up in like bits and pieces in their career. It means everything to them. So I don't think either and or should be
Exist?
left out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they can coexist. Absolutely should coexist.
If there's a girl watching us
Hmm.
who is in her pursuit of dreams, she wants to achieve her highest
Yeah.
potential,
Yeah.
but is still figuring out the love aspect of it.
Hmm.
What do you advise?
Um, I think depends again what age you are in.
Yeah.
But dude, if you're in your early 20s, I highly recommend like focusing on making your life. It is everything. I think I've been in a relationship like constantly, so I can't like tell you what it is not. This is the first time I'm ever single. So now I can speak to that. But I feel like if you're like focused, like razor focus in your 20s on like being the woman you're meant to be and just like getting that degree or getting that job that you dreamed of, I'm telling you, dude, in the pursuit of that, love does come in the way because you're not like you're not giving your time to both equally. You're
Yeah.
just focusing on your career. You're making your life in your early 20s. Absolutely, you should give your time and energy and health and everything to your career. I feel like it really matters to be in good shape, good form, good mental space. And love kind of sometimes, if you go through breakups,
Yeah.
if you go through, it kind of shifts you. You kind of fall apart. You definitely fall apart. And it can hinder your path to where you want to be. So I feel like focusing on becoming who you're meant to be is absolutely crucial, and I promise you along the way, dude, it will organically like just
Work
come
out.
to you because you will be so confident as a person. Like, you will have your career backed up, you will know what your dreams. I think you need to be a full person, um not like a perfect person, but like, okay, know your dreams, know your goals, know where you're headed. And I'm telling you, the guy who also is on that same path will eventually, you will intersect with that person, and it's just gonna find you organically.
Yeah.
So I feel like trying to look for love is exhaustive. I'm doing it. It's exhausting. It's exhausting, So it's right what they say, when you focus on the things that are there right now, when you whatever you focus, you magnify, right?
Yeah.
So you want to focus on the thing that's going to take you further ahead, which is like stability, security, and women need that in today's times. I feel like it is not very easy to find a guy who is a provider, a 100% provider, and so you need that backup for yourself. And I think women, I think that's what got me here today. I am able to be a single mom for whatever reason, and very confidently, because I put in the work in my 20s.
Yeah.
I made sure that, okay, I was in a relationship, I had a guy, I was married. I didn't like throw that all away and be like, now I'm married now, so it's all good. No, I still like kept in the pursuit of, okay, you know what, I still have to like, and also I loved it. That's why I loved my career and what I was doing. And I think we should do that, so that when it's time to get married, have a family, you can tap out if you
How
want to tap out.
how important is financial independence?
Oh my god, it is the crux of like my mother's video, dude. Like her last few words were actually like, go and achieve your dreams, go and be financially independent. That's what she said. And she always told me that because she went through a similar phase in life. And I think most women go through this. Financial independence is absolutely paramount. Like, that's something you cannot leave or depend on your husband for, or something, at least when you're in your early 20s. When I get married, yeah, absolutely, he should take care of you when you get married. But when you're building your life, having like your own, look, dude, I'm telling you, I'm so passionate about, and I used to talk about this all the time on Sundays with Miles, if you remember, like having your own identity, like who you are, having your own career, having not, it doesn't even have to be like this big career of becoming a CEO. Have something of your own on the side, whether you're a dancer, painter, anything, pick your thing. Have your thing. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't completely lose yourself in a
Self.
relationship, lose yourself. Like, even if you're married, and when you're married, you need to have something on the side that's gonna like make you stand up, and you can walk out of anything confidently knowing that you've taken care of yourself for the past few years of your life. And that confidence you cannot get if you're not financially
Yeah.
independent. Our mums, dude, our mums, my mom had to go through so much and stay in a marriage that she wasn't, ready for. Or like most of my parents, most of my friends' moms actually, they had to organically stay in the marriage because they're like, where will I go?
Yeah.
I didn't back myself up. I could not go to work because they had to raise children. And fair enough. But then they had to stay in lives they didn't want to stay. And I feel like today we're so lucky that we can get to, we're confident women, we can speak well, we're educated, we get to pick the path we want.
Yeah.
And you have that option. If you ever feel like you need to leave and you want to leave, you can
Yeah.
leave. And that should be the last resort. I'm not saying like, okay, leave a no, that should be your last resort, leaving a marriage or leaving a relationship. But it's a door. This is a doorway to a lot of things. You can take care of your parents, you can take care of your child, you can take care of yourself. You never have to rely so much on somebody, because the power that somebody holds over your life at that point is significant,
Yeah.
right? Because then a lot of people, like back in the 80s, men had power over them because they could not leave their life, right?
Yeah.
And that is something that you don't want to be left with. It's a very brutal situation to be left with. So paramount. Financial independence is something that you should absolutely prioritize in your 20s all the way through your 30s and for life. Why not?
I think the conversation of feminism
Yeah.
is loved and loud now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's being talked about, it's
Yeah.
being debated about. There's so many discussions happening. But in your own opinion, do you think it has been helping women, at least in the recent generations?
Like what, feminism?
Yeah. The concept in it.
I don't know. Like, I think, yes, I think we've come a long way.
Yeah.
And I think it has immensely helped me. It shaped me into being who I am today, because we're able to voice our feelings. We're able to tap into roles that we could not back in the day. So I think women have paved the way for us to be able to do this today. Absolutely. But I think that word is very demonized, dude. I don't like, feminism can be
Yeah.
like very heavy. But I absolutely believe also in gender roles. And I'm not afraid to say that. I do believe that, and of course, there's a lot that comes with it, right? It has to be like a partner who is loving and kind and safe and secure. And it comes with a lot. So women are exhausted. I believe that I am tired. Okay, having to tap into a masculine role very early on in my life got me exhausted at 33. You shouldn't have to pay rent at 20, and of a mother who's single. Like, you should not have to do all of that. So I think like having to like lift a lot of the masculine roles very early on in my life got me very tired along my 20s, because I knew I could not rely on anybody to cover my bills. So I always had to keep earning. And even today, like, all of us women actually are so tapped out of it, because we're constantly trying to keep ourselves safe and
Yeah.
secure, because we don't have that, like, a man or that authority figure saying, hey, I've got you covered. Some people might have that, and that's so amazing. I'm actually like, I'm very happy when I see like a good, like, family full of generational wealth, a family well taken care of, like good financial decisions. It's a good thing to have that in your life, absolutely. But women are tired, dude, and we want to give up some roles in our life. I think we want to tap into our feminine. And when I say that, we want to like tap into being a mother. Like, so I can't be a full mother right now because I have to work, right?
Yeah.
And I love working. I'm not saying I don't love working and stuff. I would absolutely work till my last breath, right? So I love working, but would I want to like cut back a little? Absolutely. Would
Yeah.
I want to spend time with Abby, be a good mother to her? Really, I do. So there are some things that men absolutely can take that away from your plate. And it's wired in them to do so. They want to be a provider. They want to give you the life of your dreams, so you can chase your dreams and you can relax and rest. I think women haven't rested in a very long time, and I think that's my only concern. I'm not against anything. I just feel like women and men should sort of like, when they tap into their actual innate roles,
Rules.
I feel like we're more comfortable in the way we're meant to be. um, that's why we're like struggling to keep up. We're
Yeah.
struggling to raise kids, earn the money, not being able to take a good maternity break, like having to rush back to work after
Yeah.
like 6 months. 6 months is not enough.
It's 45 days in Dubai.
Ah,
Yeah.
then How? Guys, no. A mom should be given like 2 years with their children because so much goes through our body and mental. No, but we're going to go back to work. Why? Because like your partner cannot like, handle the ship or whatever. And that's fine. But it's not the way it's meant to be. And that's what I believe in. And that's why we're tired today. I think a lot of men also are like, if like roles were reversed, very few men are actually stay at home dads or like taking care of very few.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a
they're
minority.
minority बहुत ही कम है. I know people will be like, no, but dads today are, yeah, but that's not the general rule of life. It's not the general way like things work. Men feel confident when they go to work and when they provide for their family. That's who they become fully them. And we become confident when we're like a great mom. We're like a working mom or like a good wife to our husband. And that's when a collaborative marriage comes together. Like it's a balanced marriage. And I feel like that's what I believe in. So obviously barring so many things, right? I mean, it's not a direct recipe or a manual, but you have to see a lot of layers. So I do believe that feminism, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, they've paved the way for us to do what we can today.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
It's about having a choice.
Yeah.
जो
You
करना है
want to
करो.
work, work. If you don't want to work,
मत करो.
don't be shamed, yeah. Like a firm mother who wants to be a mother now. Oh, so you're not working now? You quit your job, raise a family and show me. Dude, housework is not easy. Manage a house and show me every day ka grocery list, what to make for dinner, what to make for lunch, managing in-laws according to their moods, managing your husband after he comes. You think that's easy? No, women have always had it difficult. We have never had the easy road, and it's only added to our plate that some men cannot like take away that the earning aspect from us. We still have to do that also. So, dude, being a stay-at-home woman, a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home mom is absolutely it's the most difficult job ever.
And I think that role has been taken for granted forever.
हाँ, तेरी मॉम है ना, इट्स ओके, मम्मी है ना,
Yeah.
मम्मी कर लेगी. क्यों करना है, dude? Let her rest, let her be. I feel like mums and like women, again, they're taken for granted. You're right. They're just taken for granted. And I just feel like it's time to like give mums and stay-at-home mums the respect they deserve, which is like you won't even be able to do one stay at home. Like I always say, like get a man to do one day at home where he puts the clothes for laundry, sukhane ko kapda, pay the bill, pay the doodh wala bhaiya bill. Do it and show me, dude. Like you would not. A woman knows. She knows where it's at. And it's a very difficult job.
If there's a boy watching us who
Hmm.
genuinely wants to make a woman's life easier,
Yeah.
what would you tell him?
Okay. Ready to be Reddit's favorite girl right now. I feel like I'm the most misunderstood creator in the industry. But if I have to give a guy advice, I would be like, dude, don't get into a relationship until you are fully secure in who you are, until you are confident in the man you're becoming. And that's all aspects, right? Spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, all of it. You have to be in the best shape of your life. You at least have to be in the pursuit of the best shape of your life. You have to be a guy who knows where he stands in his career, to be able to provide for your partner fully, not 50-50, not 70-30, fully. Okay, is that when she can work if she wants to, but when she decides to tap out and become a mom in the marriage, can you cover it? Can you cover the rent? Can you cover, because I know so many of my friends or so many people who had to like go to work quickly in like 3 months because they have to like, fill up the gap of, because the rents are so high. I get it. But you know that everything has gone up right now. You know it's expensive to live a life. Don't get into a relationship. Don't get married. Married is a responsibility. Until you're dating, you're fine. Still, you can
Figure
split. I don't even want to say split the bill because that's not how it's done. Okay. So, boy, you have to be very, very sure of your career, whether you can cover your family for the rest of your life or be in pursuit of, okay, hey, I can't give you the best life possible, but I've got this. When you say, I've got this, babe, you don't need to do anything. Relax. You watch her and how an amazing, she just turns into becoming the best wife, the best mom if she wants to, and just the best like version of herself when she's got a man backing her up. You want that kind of a wife and that kind of a woman, then you have to like step it up. You have to be the kind of guy who like very rarely exists in today's time. Can I just say that? Like someone who does not split 50-50, someone who's got you covered, who's got your back, who's chivalrous, who opens the door for you, who gets you flowers, who pays your bills, who takes care of your parents if needed, who carries you through grief emotionally, who supports you through postpartum. like who literally is like, dude, you don't have to go back to work for 1 year. I have got this. Those words are golden words, my man. If you can say this to your wife and you genuinely got this,
That
that's
is
it.
sorted.
You're ready. And you're ready. Until then, even if you're 33, 34, don't get married, dude. Take your time. No one's saying rush. And again, people come at me saying, like, but there's so much pressure on a man.
Yeah, I think it comes from a blindsided vision that there are certain things only a woman can do. So if you are financially secure enough, that takes the lift off her shoulders. It's
Yes,
just
it's
that.
just that. It's just that. Don't put pressure on men. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I
Men
mean, we are
thrive in
going through
pressure.
something every month. Just
Don't put men thrive in pressure. Like that's what gets them to be their best. But don't put pressure on men is such a weird statement to make because dude, women go through so much. Do you know the kind of pressure women take? Periods, perimenopause, like
and kab se, school se.
schools say we're carrying pressure to be the best daughter, to be the best sister, to learn house chores, to like, and men are given like they can go out on trips and boys trips and sleepovers. They get the freedom we do not get.
Oh, that is a whole different topic.
That's a whole different conversation, dude. I never went for a sleepover. I couldn't go for trips. So women are carrying this weight of being the best wife, best daughter, while men can go ahead and make mistakes and they will still be loved. No matter what they do, they will be loved by their mothers. But daughters, if they like falter a little bit, they get into the wrong relationships, they are like, scolded for life. And I'm like, what kind of a pressure do women take, dude? Bringing up children, raising, taking care of your parents, like in-laws,
Yeah.
while taking care of your own parents, while taking care of your mental health. That's immense pressure. I'm sorry. Like, if you have to say, like, no, don't put pressure on a man, that is just not the right statement for me. I don't align with it. But I genuinely feel like I think people need to be the best. In order to be the best versions of yourself, you need to be able to organically tapping into the roles you were put in.
Yeah. I think it's not about gender roles or man this, woman this. It's just as two friends, a guy and a girl.
Yeah.
If you're having a conversation, just put yourself in the other person's shoes.
Empathy.
I understand there's a mental health conversation that happens. They need to be financially independent. They need to earn for the family.
They
But
need
what
to.
else? Women biologically sometimes do not have an option. We can't tap out of this.
We can't. We do.
So
Can men give
try
birth?
to
No, na.
understand that.
That's what men can't give birth na today. Like, but women can do anything they put their minds to. We can do anything. We can build a building. We can raise companies. We can raise children. We can do anything. But for men, it's very hard. And they would not like to be in that position. Trust me. They would not like to raise children on their own and like cook meals. And it's not organic to do that. And that's what I'm saying. It's like obviously you decide what you need to, and just in order, like I said, to be the best that you can possibly be, the supporting, like your partner and how they support you is
Yeah.
everything. Whatever you want to do, yeah. It's not like a hard and fast rule, but just know that let it be a choice to another person. At least we don't
Yeah.
have a choice only. That's what I'm saying. Women don't have a choice. They're like, no, but you have to raise, but you also have to work because we have to split the bill. It's very expensive. The minute when a wife can be a good wife, when she can be a great mother, the man will not fall into very bad mental health issues. The wife will take care of the man. She will love him to his best potential, like to make sure he becomes the best version of himself.
There's a saying, the more you wife your wife, the more wifey she becomes.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Like when a wife is tapped out and she's tired at the end of the day, the man doesn't get the love he needs. And so he ends up into mental health issues, which is fair. It's not easy to be a man. I'm not like, discrediting like what it is to be a man. It's very hard, but it's also your primary job to be a provider.
Also, so we've spoken a lot about marriages as such.
Yeah.
But I want you to talk about some happy memories with Abby.
Okay.
How even like Abby has probably not seen the happiest version of you, but I'm sure Jesus is looking out for her
Yes.
and you.
Yes.
I want to talk about. I mean, I want you to tell me what keep you two going. What are the things that you do to have fun?
She just gets up at 6 a.m. every day, okay? Like, this is a non negotiable. Matlab, सूरज से पहले हम उठते हैं. Like, I'm up before the sun, and I'm just like, I don't want to be. I'm not a morning person. If they say mom, like, motherhood makes you a morning person. It just forces you into waking up in the morning. It doesn't mean you're a morning person. I want to sleep till 8. I have not slept till 8 in, like, I don't know how long. Today I slept extra. But Abby wakes up with the most peppiest energy ever, and she's like, Mama, like, let's go. I want to color. And I'm just like, geez, man, like the sun is not even up. So we go color. I sit like a zombie on the couch, and she's just like yapping and yapping. She's at that age where she wants to talk a lot, and she's such an adult. I'm sure now everybody's seen her video, but she's such an adult. So yeah, she
She
says
loves
words like,
doing makeup also with you.
she loves doing makeup. She loves saying, "Can I get that brush and that spray?" And like she says, like water, like she says hydration, and she says words like this, and she's just turning 3 in a few weeks. So she's such an adult to have conversations with. Our Sundays are together. So Abby and I have our Sundays together. It's like date or girls' night, girls' day out. Okay, so I take her maybe to church. We go, and then we go to a play area. I grab a coffee, I sit and have a meal with her. She will have her own French fries, she'll watch some iPad, she'll color something. It's like literally hanging out with an adult. And it feels really nice, And I take her to play where she's doing a thing, I'm doing my thing, and the whole Sunday ends like that, where we're just talking, we're hanging out, and I'm trying to love that side as well. I feel like I've not been able to love, like I said, my motherhood journey a lot, and I'm intentionally spending time with my daughter to love it. Mothers spe- mothers are forced to spend time with their children even when they don't want to, because they have no option, but that doesn't mean they always like spending time with a toddler or their children. I know I'm speaking the truth here. We
That
don't.
that might sound very resentful, but it comes from exhaustion also. That statement comes from
100%.
exhaustion.
It's only exhaustion, babe. Like when I'm really tired and I have to spend time, I'm very reactive when I have to spend time with Abigail. I'm not a good person to be around. And no mother can be, because she's tapped out. The minute I go, I have a coffee with Veronica, or I will like have a good work day like today. I'll go home, I'll be the best mother, because I'm like, I've had
You're
time to myself.
energized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had time to myself. I got my work done. I got some coffee time, and now I'm the best mother I can. I got my fitness done, and I spend time with Abby in the best way possible, and I notice the shift.
Yeah.
When I'm continuously at home for 48 hours not having left the house, I'm a miserable person, and your child doesn't deserve that. But mothers just have to inorganic, like inevitably spend time with their children, even if they don't want to. They're tapped out, they're
Yeah.
tired, they're spent. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
That doesn't make for quality time.
Yeah.
So like I think giving time. So yeah, we're so funny. Like she's so funny. We're in this Bollywood phase, girl. I'm in this Bollywood phase where I just play all the best Bollywood songs and we dance. 7 o'clock is our Bollywood time. So I play music and she's like, Mama, can you play Up To Forever? I'm like, yeah. And then we play Up To Forever. We do the steps and everything. So we
So
love dancing.
cute.
Yeah.
She just joined ballet.
She
How
does.
is the phase going?
Very cute. She loves being a girl now. She's like, having daughters are so fun. She's like wearing all these like tutu skirts, and she's like every morning she'll wake up, even if there's no ballet, she wants to wear the tutu skirt and the dress, and she wants to hang. I'm like, wow. So she puts her ballet shoes and she looks at herself in the mirror and she does this. She copies me a lot. She's a very confident kid, which I think I'm the same. When I grew up very confidently. Dude, my mom has instilled confidence like no other. And when I say that, my mom has told me I'm the most beautiful girl in this entire world, and I've believed it. Like, ever since I was a child, I had fallen and broken my tooth, okay, several times. People know that. Still, she's like, you are the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. I'm like, so once you say something to a kid again and again, if you say you're so stupid, you're so dumb, they believe that. So you want to make sure like the words you pick are so important when you say that to your kid. So my mom and dad have like put me on a pedestal. My dad so said, you are Aishwarya Rai, you are Shilpa Shetty. And I believed it, babe. I didn't know what that could impact
Yeah.
the 30-year-old Malvika. Like today, so many people are so underconfident. Even if they're so pretty, they're very underconfident and they don't feel the most beautiful. Maybe because they were not told enough that they were pretty. Sometimes you need to be told. Why not? We're humans, we need validation. And so I feed this to Abigail every day. I'm like, you're the most beautiful. You're so beautiful. So every time she goes to the mirror, she's like, Mama, am I pretty? I'm pretty.
Such a poo energy.
Yeah. Fully poo from K3G. So I keep instilling, like, you're the most beautiful. You look so beautiful, Abby. You look so beautiful. You're so kind. So I keep saying that to her, so she believes it.
That's so beautiful. But I want to say there was a phase in my life where, actually, not a phase, there was quite a long period of my time when I was highly insecure
Yeah.
about the way I look, the
Yeah.
way I am,
It
and all of
happens.
that. And I've been called ugly and fat and all of that on my face. And for a very long period of like my childhood, like school and all of that. So makeup in itself was a very, very alien topic for me. Like, I never thought I could look pretty. I never thought I can pick up makeup. I was happy in my tomboy outfits, my loose t-shirts.
Girl.
This and I think COVID changed things for me, and
Okay.
I'll tell you how. So it was a I was in four walls. There's nothing to do. I
Yeah.
cannot go out. I
Yeah.
cannot like max. What I can do is like FaceTime my friends. I had to sit with myself and self reflect. You know what I relied on? YouTube.
Yeah.
And you know what I stumbled upon? Your videos. I'm not saying I'm good at makeup, but
You are.
whatever I do today,
Excuse me.
I started
Oh
learning
my
it from your.
god.
You were the first person because
Oh my
I don't think back then a lot of people did long format videos.
no.
तो मुझे क्या पता what eyeliner is, what contour is, what concealer. I had no clue. I just applied one liner and one so-called lipstick that used to be it, and that also I never liked it on my face.
Yeah.
But then eventually I started like concealer ऐसे लगाना है, blush ऐसे लगाना है. I used to listen to you how you like it used to be a math tuition for me.
Yeah.
इस angle से लगाना
I'm
है.
very master classy in my tutorials, I know.
I found comfort in your videos,
Oh my
and I
god.
genuinely
Thank you.
say and the insecure girl somewhere vanished.
Seriously?
So I want to say thank you.
Oh my god, that is huge. That is huge. Oh my god, thank you for saying that.
And I'm sure I'm not the only one.
I hope if all of this was worth it, this was worth it. If someone feeling insecure to secure, it's a huge shift. Not everybody can feel that like that. It's I know what insecurity feels like. It's a dent that it's like a ghost that never leaves you. It lingers on you like you look ugly. And being told that
Yeah.
is like a voice like you cannot shake
Yeah.
off. But if no one's told you, please, you are beautiful and your smoky eye is killing it right now. She's wearing a green metallic smoky eye, which I could never pull off. So the fact that you're pulling that off says a lot about you.
This is myself.
I'm seeing the contour placement, the blush placement, it's perfection, by the way. And I'm very quick to judge makeup. I'm like, say, ऐसा क्यों किया? No notes. No notes.
Means a lot.
I am so glad that helped you, man. Oh my god. Like I said, if anything was worth it, this is what makes it worth it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have almost come to the end of the
Okay.
podcast. We also wrap up in a self-reflection question.
Okay.
Okay. So if you meet a 16-year-old version of yourself today,
Hmm.
what will you tell her?
I would tell her to spend more time with your parents, like hold your mother's hand more, hold like I'm not a very physical I don't think in our family we had a lot of physical love. We loved each other a lot, but physical love was very difficult in our family. We never like hugged a lot. We never, we just spoke words like we love you. Even that was very rare, I'll be honest. So if I could tell her, I'd be like, do try to like tell your parents you love them. Try to like, despite anything, they tried their best. They
Yeah.
like whatever circumstances they were in, they made the best decision for you. And to just spend time with them, hold them, um, and please choose the right partner. And when I say that, I mean to say, like, I would tell Malvika, I'll take your time. I think who you choose to marry is a very, very important decision you will make. It sets the foundation of your life and your children and your generation. It's very important who you bring into your bloodline.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would tell Miles to, hey, listen to your parents a little more, take their advice seriously, draw closer to your faith. I feel like my mom kept instilling faith a lot, and she always, because she was there was touches of faith when she forcefully took us to church every Sunday. It made an impact to who I am today, and I didn't realize that back then. I used to be very irritated, like, why am I here? I'm just sitting like, but it really impacts you, like growing closer to spiritual, like not spiritual, growing closer to your faith, whatever that is for you, listening to your parents, and choosing to date the right person, making choices that will not hamper your future is very important. So if a 15-year-old is watching me right now, I'd be like, start your fitness journey now. So you're healthy in your 30s. Very intentionally date and give yourself to someone who only chooses you every single day, and you're not an option for them. Um, it will change the trajectory of your life. I feel like these are smaller things, but also have a huge impact when you're in your 30s. And I'm realizing that now. So, again, if I would look to my 15-year-old, I would tell her to touch upon all these sides of her life and sort of take your time. Timelines don't matter. I was hell bent on having a child at 30. I was hell bent on getting married. Why wasn't I engaged sooner? All my friends are engaged. So I got engaged soon. Like, take your time. Timelines don't matter. If you have to meet the right person, you will meet him even at 40. But it will be the most sweetest marriage of your life after 40. So don't rush into anything and don't believe those societal timelines. That's what I would tell her, because I got really affected by that when I turned 30.
I just want to thank you so much. It still feels surreal that I get to sit here with you.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, like, my girls are gonna go crazy when this episode releases. But I just love you
I
from the
love
bottom of
you.
my heart, and I
I love you
want you to
too.
know that you are so loved.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So I just wanted to say that you're genuinely loved by so many people.
Thank
There's so
you.
many girls looking out for you. You are an inspiration to many.
Thank you.
And I just pray right now that Jesus blesses you with
Thank
strength
you.
and love,
Thank
a
you.
lot of love and money, of course.
We need that. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been so awesome to be here.
Thank you, Miles. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming.